Welcome back, everyone. In this episode, we're at a caravan park in Sunraysia that's the only one that's on the Murray and the Darling River. Stick around. Just over the river from Mildura in Wentworth is the Wanderer'S Crossing River Retreat Caravan Park. It's recently had an awesome redevelopment and there's still a lot more work to come. So we're going to have a talk to Tony Smith and his family, who are the park operators. But first, let's have a listen to Tony.
Warm summer breeze blowing, I feel the moment is growing. Just let this lazy day roll along. Sit back, enjoy the sunshine, here for good but not for a long time. Loving this country life can't be wrong. Old river ambles by and brings back to me things I'd forgotten that I'd see. Heat haze and yellow grasses, river red gum tree. Feels like I'm in a settler's dream. Bent hands and weathered faces, these people die for their places, give them their heart and soul until they're gone. Each neighbour like a brother, shake hands to greet one another, talk about how it's been, then carry on. Up at the break of day to give a mate a hand. Watch the sunrise slowly because you can. Man and his family living on the land. Who'd be a darling riverman? This country, like a lover, there's many unknown things to discover, always enough mystique to lead you on. And it will all come to me out of this country that grew me, straight from its heart like seeds that I have sown. And I will live my life the way that nature plans. I'll be a darling riverman. I'll be a darling riverman. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Tony and Anna from the Wanderer'S Crossing River Retreat. I got that all out. Guys, how did you come about operating the park here?
So, probably in 2017, we were working in the mining industry, and we're up in Queensland, and my dad passed away, and we've got a property up the river here about 50 kilometres, so Dad passed away. We came home for the funeral, and while we were home, we saw an ad in the paper for managers for the Willow Bend Caravan Park. So Anna at that time was driving the big 500-tonne dump trucks, and she said,
and didn't want to be, so I said yes to that.
She said, I'd much rather drive a golf cart.
Yeah.
So anyway, we put in our application, and long story short, we were successful in the application. So we came back, I think it was November 2017, just before Christmas, took over the running of the park. The council bought the other lessees that had been here for 15 years, bought them out, and their hope was to renovate the park. Yeah. So we stayed here for 4 years, ran it for 4 years during that time, and it was pretty hard to get the renovations happening because doing earthworks while someone's trying to have a peaceful day on the river, they've got their washing hanging out, just didn't work. So our contract came to an end after 4 years, and the council closed the park to do their renovations. So it's taken around about 3 years, but it hasn't been through dragging feet. We've had a flood over the park in that time. Yep. All the fill they bought in to start with all got soaked, so they had to cut a lot of that out to get rid of it, to bring new fill in to do the earthworks and services under the ground. So I think February this year will be 3 years since we went out till we came back. And when we actually left last time, we were a little bit burnt out because we'd never done caravan park before, and we treated it as our own business. So we did, sometimes 3 months without a break until we found a really good company called Caretakers Australia that have people everywhere to come in and relieve you.
And some awesome local people that filled in for us, relief managers too.
Yeah. So we ended up, we knew we had to get that right. So when we finished, we weren't sure if we were even going to go back into caravanning. So I went back mining. Anna's been working up the farm, Wrangler Jane looking after the sheep, and we grow a bit of hemp up there as well. So when we saw in the paper that they were looking for people to put in for expressions of interest, we had a bit of a sit down and a powwow and decided we loved it.
Why not?
We loved it.
Yeah.
So
What if?
it's a beautiful spot. I was born here. Anna's, could call her local now, I suppose. We met in the pub down here 33 years ago now. So
This must have only been 13 or 14.
yeah, we're only young fellas, just out of high school. Yeah. So it was just made sense to us to come back. You know, the council's built a beautiful little park. You know,
There's lots of works, and there's still lots more to come.
lots more to come yet. Yeah. So the basics have been done. Yeah. All the stuff underground's all new. They put in a great amount of turf, camp kitchen, concrete pads. So now it's up to us as lessees. We'll develop it further with. We've got the glamping area down the end. We're just getting the sauna and ice bath built down there. We're going to put a swimming pool over the back here. We're going to put a half-court basketball court in with a pickleball court on it. Beach volleyball down here, and some newer cabins along the river. Some newer cabins over the back.
A fire pit area. One of our big, which I feel one of our big point of difference with all the other parks is music night. Tony, all his mates, fortunately can sing very well. So that's always been something that we always did from day one. And that's been
music
lovely.
night in the camp kitchen, and it's me and my original songs. But if we have people in the park through the week that want to come up and do, we've had people that play accordions. We've had people that have played at
Bagpipes, that
bagpipes.
lovely gentleman.
Played. What's the name of the castle in Scotland? The Queen's Edinburgh. He's played in the Edinburgh Castle in the hole in the wall, which is a very privileged thing to do, and we have people like that travelling around. So it's great to have them come down, and we advertise up the. It could be very impromptu, so we just put it up, bagpipes tonight in the camp kitchen, and if you want to come down, and people come across dubiously with their chairs, so they can make a quick getaway. They can make a quick getaway if they don't like it, but generally when we start the music, people come in from other places,
And that's just something we can offer, because we can.
Now the sauna, I'm going to talk to your daughter about the sauna in a moment. So
Wellness.
that's great. Even when it's freezing cold in the middle of winter, we can still warm up after fishing or whatever we do here.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be a bit of a wellness
Area with a beautiful glamping tent, sauna, the ice bath, and then with their other wellness, package.
Well, Holly and JB, which is Holly's boyfriend Josh, have moved from Melbourne to bring their little wellness centre here. So in the glamping area, if you're glamping, you can have meals delivered. You can use the sauna, the ice bath, and we'll have a little bit of an infinity pool out there as well on the bottom layer. But Holly will have her business in the park as well, which is Spinal Flow. That will be separate from the park, but people from outside the park can come and utilise that. JB's ex-army and he's a machine, so he's going to do a tough love boot camp for people if they want to do it. Anna does pajama yoga. So, if you want to get up early and go out on the lawn and do pajama yoga. So there's just little things like that, but we want to aim at the wellness side of things, because it doesn't matter whether you're young or old. People are seeing now that you've got to look after yourself if you want to live and not be someone that falls out of their bed and at 65 and can't get around the house.
You want to be still active.
Yeah, you want to be active.
Yeah, no use retiring and not being active.
And we get inspired by people who come in their 70s and 80s. They've set up in 10 minutes and they're on their push bikes and they're out of here. They're right in there, active people. So the sauna and the ice bath is aimed at inflammation and being able to, you know, heal your body
Yeah.
without taking the drugs and stuff like that. So, but Holly can tell you a bit more about that.
Yeah,
She's-
we'll talk
But getting back to the grassroots of the park, why we said yes after all our other options, and we had other options to do at the end of the 3 years, we decided to go for it, because while we were here, we would sit and go, oh, what if, imagine if it was our park, what we could do, or this
Yeah,
or that.
yeah.
And it was those little,
The creative juices started
I
flowing.
think so.
Yeah.
It was those little dreams again, and thought, you know, we could do that, we could do that. And then we met so many beautiful people, so many. We had some scary moments, and some crazy, oh my gosh, if we'd had a GoPro on our head, we could have had a real reality show for
Yeah.
particularly the first 18 months probably. But yeah, the beautiful people. We could go anywhere around Australia
Yeah.
and just ring someone up and have a, you know, cup
Yeah.
of tea or catch up. Just beautiful. And I call them now the willow benders that came here, and some of these people
Like an
have been
extended
coming
family.
for 40 to 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were there waiting for our soft opening on November the 1st.
Yeah.
So for those beautiful people, we thought, wow, those friendships are...
Lifelong friendships.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're precious.
Then we've got our COVID family, which were the people that were stuck here for 6
Sure.
months in the park.
And become very dear
Yeah,
friends.
so they're from all over Australia too. They decided to stay. So it was 6 months that those people stayed. And then some of those guys the next year came back and stayed for 3 or 4 months again because they loved it so much. So, but they're really good friends as well.
Now,
so.
you're the only park in Sunraysia that's got 2 rivers.
Right, and that was
Pretty
my
sure.
next thing.
I'm pretty sure. I can't think of it.
And look at this little,
Yeah.
apparently it's called originally Lover's Lane,
No,
where the
Tony was
darling
just telling
first
me
met the
before.
Murray.
Yeah.
I love that rather than I know there's been someone's called it the Cutaway.
Yeah.
Lover's
Yeah.
Lane's
Lovers
far
Lane.
more romantic.
Yep. So well, it's
as
the
well.
first meeting of the Murray and the Darling,
Sure.
that little
course.
junction through there, and then you have to go all the way down to get to the
Which is
junction.
about a
But-
kilometre, yeah.
So we've
That's
got the
right.
Murray and the Darling fishing. We've got the Murray and the Darling skiing. If you want to go up past Winnie that way, you can ski up that way.
Yep.
It's only 4 knots along here, so you don't get the speedboats past while people are trying
Yep.
to fish. And we've got
Less
our little swimming beach
noise.
there, so people
Yeah.
are safe to swim out there.
And just down the road, Perry Sandhills and
course, we've got
the
all those
Great Darling Anna
icon-
branch.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
It's
right.
close to lots of
Mungo
bits and
up
pieces.
the, that's
Mungo,
right,
yeah.
for sure. And another, I guess, too, drawing card is the proximity to town.
Yeah, yep.
You can park
Yeah.
You
your
feel like
rig
you-
and
you
car
feel-
here.
yeah.
Within 5 minutes, you're up the local,
Yep.
ordering your palmy or your cutlets,
You
don't-
feel like you're out
And a
in the
drink.
sticks, but you
for
can
sure.
just walk up to
And
town.
you can walk,
Yeah, you don't
knowing
feel like you...
that's right.
Because we're fortunately but unfortunately on the river side of the levy, we do get flooded when there's a big flood. But the park has been built up, I think about 12 to 13, 1400 higher than it used to be, so minor flooding's not going to be an issue now.
Okay.
Used to lose half the park in minor flooding. Major flood we can't do anything about, but you just don't feel like there's a town right behind you there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
And,
Rightio, guys. Look, I'm going to cut you short because
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Holly in a moment.
Yeah.
But thanks very much for
No
talking to me.
worries.
We'll have a wander around.
Pleasure, thank you.
Good on you, Anna.
Thank
No worries.
you. It's lovely.
I'm here with Holly. Holly's going to tell me a little bit about the wellness centre out here.
Yes, so my partner and I have just moved from Melbourne, and our passions are saunas and ice baths
Yep.
and contrast therapy, and we just thought it would be something awesome to bring to the
The
park.
park, yeah.
I know a lot of people that already came in for Christmas. They were doing like boot camps. They were up in the morning doing circuits
Yeah.
and running, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this actually is the perfect place for this. Like there
Yeah.
will be people and clients that want to use like the sauna and ice bath. So
The sauna's nearly finished.
yes.
How far away do you think the ice bath is?
Well, the ice bath's up and running. Just got
Okay.
it behind
Okay, we'll have
mum
a
and
look at
dad's
that,
at the moment, but we eventually want to put it beside the sauna. We were just waiting
Oh,
for
okay.
the electrical,
Yep,
but
works.
hopefully in the next couple of weeks they'll be beside each other so that we can jump in and out.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
and eventually we'll have an outdoor shower as well. If people don't want to rinse off in the ice bath, they can just...
As much as we love touring and camping, you've got to look after yourself as well, don't you?
Absolutely.
So you can do it longer.
Yeah, for sure. And it's something, I think it was a bit of a phase. Like teenagers are starting to be like, oh, contrast therapy, but it's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And it's just the benefits people are learning a lot more, like of how good it is for your heart and your immunity and inflammation. And yeah, there's so many benefits. And just getting uncomfortable as well, like just with your mindset, sitting somewhere that's a little bit uncomfortable, but you know that you can step out at any time. But yeah, we're really passionate about it, and we're excited to
Awesome.
have people come in and use it.
Awesome. Now you're manning a reception at the moment, so we're going to let you go.
Yes.
Thanks very much for meeting with me.
Thank you very much.
on you, Holly.
No worries.
Well, there you have it, guys. Wanderers crossing River Retreat. If you like this video, check this one out here, and also have a look at outandaboutsunraysia.com.au. But be good, stay safe, and bye for now.